I seen when I stand in front of Braun. When Braun fought Tank, he was on Tank. He was on him. He had the same attitude. Am I right or wrong? And then he had no fear. He fought him in the amateur.
Like the betting me that he gonna knock me out and stuff like that. That didn't go too well for him.
Did y'all bet?
Oh, we bet and we shook on it.
He paid up?
Now, he's trying to please the fans possibly and take this fight versus Lamont Roach in a rematch. You know, is it even worth it to please the fans who want to love you one minute, hate you the next? They're going to love him this minute, they're going to hate him next. Next minute, oh, I don't like him. He can fight Lamont Roach, and they're going to say, well, he's supposed to knock Lamont out if he does win. You know, or if he loses to Lamont, they're going to say, oh, we knew Lamont was better. It's just always is a never-ending story in regards to boxing. You can't just please the people. What he has to do is...
Any indication that that was something that was bothering him?
No, see, and that's the thing. If you look at the whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes before
you jabbed him.
Before I jabbed him. Even that right hand, that, like, you know what I'm saying?
The rematch between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach was already a must-watch. But now it's a full-blown war. At the recent press conference, things went completely off the rails. Tank's longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, stormed over to Roach's side and warned them in no uncertain terms. You better watch your mouth when you talk about Tank. This ain't a game.
I feel like people just don't like Tank to a point where any little thing, just because he ain't knock him out, he probably feel as though that he lost and he didn't, or it was a draw. You know, I feel like Tank was doing a lot of smart things in the beginning, moving a little bit too much, but I feel like he was still like frustrating and things like that. And I think Tank did a good job. Like, he looked sharp to me. And I don't know, people just be talking. You know, at the end of the day, you can't please everybody.
Were you surprised that Lamont was inspired?
I thought I should have won without that being counted a knockdown. Look, I ain't the ref. I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he had to wipe sweat out his eye, he had to wipe sweat out his eye. But the rules do state, if you voluntarily take a knee, then that's an automatic game. But it is what it is. That wasn't really.
Still feel like you too small?
He was too small.
Dang.
You just calling a spade. No disrespect.
Keep talking about Gervonta Davis as a possible fight, man. You like that fight because he's little, like he's your size.
I like that. I like that. I mean, I like that, but you know, let's finish first this one because this one is a taller champion like that. So I have a lot of things to do in training camp.
Basically, your interpretation is that the boxing public is upset because they believe Pacquiao's going to beat Barios, which is going to lead to a Tank Pacquiao fight?
Yes, look around. Look in the Discord. That's what everybody, Pac and Tank, that's being set up.
Oh,
Tank
so,
and Pac.
okay, so they saying Barios is the setup for Tank and Pac. I didn't see that, but your argument makes sense. If he beats Barios, there's nothing wrong with him fighting Tank. But the issue is he don't deserve the Barios fight off of 3 years off and a loss to Ugas.
And that's Crimea River, man. That's what boxing is. But
Roach's father and trainer, Lamont Roach Sr., wasn't having it. He stepped up and snapped back. Talk boxing, not barking. You won't shake this one off like the last. Seconds later, chaos.
But out, you're going to get in the ring and you're going to have that moment where you know you got to step it up and it just won't come.
People are talking about how they might be excited for that fight, and this is what I have to say when it comes to that. Why is a 47, soon probably at around that time, Manny Pacquiao fighting Gervonta Tank Davis? What has Gervonta done outside of being signed with the PBC done to earn that fight? We want to see Gervonta fight the Keyshawn Davises, the Devin Haney's, the Shakur Stevenses, the rematch with Lamont Roach, because most people, including myself, believe he should have lost that fight just based off the point deduction. But yet, you'll fight Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao, even though Leonard Ellaby and you was running around talking about...
No way you could say Tank won. There's no way.
Do you think that he's diminished in some way, or do you think that just mentally he just wasn't there for the fight?
Well, a little bit of both. You know, his age is catching up to him. You know, his legs aren't there as he used to be. And, you know, he switched his trainer, you know. That's could be another factor.
With Barry Hunter being the head trainer and Coach Calvin being outside.
Yeah, but he snapped at Calvin too. So that's, you know, there was something going on. I really don't know, and I couldn't really.
I said you fought 0. What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again?
Whew, that's a good question.
It's gonna be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder. If that didn't give me the win, and I have room. I definitely have room. I'm not gonna lie, I have room.
You believe you fought the best Gervonta, or do you think he?
A shove turned into a punch. Ford reportedly took a clean shot from Roach Sear before security swarmed the stage. Tank Davis brushed it off with a smirk. They're emotional. That's fear. Come August, Roach goes out cold. But Roach kept it cold and focused.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you might be or come off as like one way to the world, but when somebody knows your background and they know how you operate and how you were made and how you were constructed, know your ingredients, they know like your instructional manual and all that. Yeah, that's not good. It's not good, especially in a boxing match that you're not, you know, coming in ready to fight in. You know, you're coming in high and stuff like that. That's not it, Tank. I'm so mad at Tank, man. Not because of what you think. I'm mad because I felt like he didn't take it seriously. Like, I don't think for 1 second that Tank is going to lose the rematch. I think Tank is going to win the rematch.
Got a lot of boos from that. A lot of people was really feeling that. Do you feel like he'll fight better this next fight?
I think so, for sure. And, you know, you had mentioned that they've known each other since childhood.
Yeah.
So maybe that had something to do with that first fight. But now they've fought, they've gotten that experience out of the way. So I think we're going to see both of them a lot more often.
Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach, the rematch is on. Lamont Roach fought a perfect fight. Gervonta didn't look so great. In the rematch, Gervonta can do a lot more better. Roach can't. Gervonta may win this one.
They can throw punches backstage. We're landing ours in the ring, with the first fight ending in controversy and a questionable non-knockdown call. The boxing world is split. Tank says he wasn't mentally there. Roach says he's coming for the win he was robbed of. Even fighters like Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney are backing Roach. Now, with pressure building and futures on the line, this rematch is about more than belts.
What the rematch look like between Lamont and Gervonta, you think?
I like Lamont in the rematch.
You were one of the few that kind of picked Lamont to begin with. Why was that?
I sparred with Lamont. I knew that he was a good fighter. He helped me get ready for the Oscar Valdez fight. And I knew his style with Tank's style, what he was going to be able to bring to the table. I knew it. So.
Did you really win 20 rounds?
You think one coming up with
I
Tank
hope he
and
don't
Roach?
fight Lamont, actually. Like, I hope he don't get in the ring with him again. Because at the end of the day, if he lose, it's just going to look bad on the fight with me. So it's going to look like somebody else already did it. I
You want Tank to knock you out, yo.
I
heard him say, like, yo, I want to fight Tank, and that's nice, but why do you want Tank to knock you out so bad? Like,
Gervonta had a bad night. I look for a tough fight in the next fight, but I still see Gervonta winning. I think Gervonta will win in a little easier this time. But Roach is a heck of a fighter. He's going to give everybody a hard, anybody that fights is going to give a hard time. But I do think that Davis had an off night.
I spoke to Eddie Hearn and he said he wanted to make the Shakur Tank fight straight away. Obviously now Tank's going into the rematch. That won't happen yet. But
that wasn't the same Gervonta Davis we're really used to seeing.
It just lets you know how corrupt like these governing bodies are, bro. If that dude took a knee, not only did he take a knee,
It's about pride, redemption, and legacy. If Tank loses again, questions about his decline will grow louder. If Roach wins, he becomes a household name overnight.
The hardest puncher I ever faced. No. And I ain't shitting on him or nothing like that. He can punch. But Jonathan Okendo, he's from Puerto Rico. Bro, he got bricks in his hands, bro. I lie to you not. He punch hard.
Something funny. When we was talking in like the 12th round, I think the 12th or 11th, we was talking shit, right? But he like, you ain't gonna win. I said, why not? What you talking about? He like, they ain't gonna give it to you. I said, oh, is that right? So, that's how boxing works. It's sad to say, that's how boxing works. I'm not like.
It's going to be a whole lot better. And I think the next fight is going to end with somebody being on the canvas, in my opinion. But I think that Lamont Roach, I want to give a shout out to Lamont Roach for, putting up such a amazing performance. We never seen anyone stand there toe-to-toe with Gervonta Davis. We never seen anyone there.
I think it's going to be a chess match. So I think Tank going to come in. I think his footwork is a little bit better than Roach. I think his movement, stuff like that, is a little bit better. So I think, if he get Roach out of his rhythm, kind of get him off balance. Tank gonna get him out of there. Not saying Tank can't knock him out now. Don't get it twisted now just because he didn't knock the dude out or whatever. No.
I mean, good fighter still, great fighter. Who gonna have the edge this time? Yeah. Not saying he gonna win though, but Lamont.
Wow.
If he would have won, everybody saying that he won. He won the fight. You know what I mean? And then that.
Who takes it this time? A focused Gervonta Davis or a confident, hungry Lamont Roach? Drop your predictions in the comments. Hit that like button and make sure to subscribe for more real boxing talk. This rematch, it's not just a fight anymore. It's personal.